Hey, what's up guys, RipDisc here, a little Battlefield 3 gameplay commentary. In this gameplay I'm using the AK74M on Karg Island, and since the patch I've been using a lot of different weapons that I wouldn't normally use because some of my other weapons got toned down that I used to like a lot. So I basically experimented with a couple other weapons, and AK74M is one of those, and this video is going to show you some little cool attachments with them. It's not, a fabulous, like a super 100-0 type of game, but I think it's like a quick 10-0. It's going to show you guys how to edge up to attacking Karg Island pretty easily. Edging up, getting into a couple different vehicles, and showing you guys how to do that pretty quickly. But what I really want to talk about is I will also, quick note, I'm going to make an extended response to the patch in the next couple days, maybe tomorrow, but maybe after the podcast, Have a Sleep podcast goes out. And if anybody wants to, appear on the show, leave a comment in this video, and we'll talk about it. Give me your Skype in a private message or whatever. But that's besides the fact. After the patch, a lot of my favorite weapons got toned down, like I said, and I started experimenting with new weapons. For example, this gameplay, I'm using the AK74M with the reflex sight and the foregrip, and I sometimes use a suppressor on it, but in this gameplay I'm not really using the suppressor because I'm playing Rush. Maybe on TDM I would use the suppressor, but on Rush, I wouldn't really suggest using the suppressor at all, because all your teammates and everybody's gonna be so cramped in with you that it's basically stupid to use it, because they're gonna spot you eventually because all your teammates are shooting right next to you. But like I said, only I'm using the foregrip, reflex, and that's it. The reflex sight on the AK74M is like a dime piece. It hits it right where you want it to go. It's pretty accurate. Like I said, and the fire rate, it's a little sluggish, but it's still that medium, in between, of damage and fire rate that you really want in a gun, similar to the M416. But the M416 is not as accurate, in my opinion, in my hands, than the AK74M, which is one of my new favorite weapons now because of the patch, and some of my other weapons like the M16A3 are not what they used to be in my hands. But that's besides the point. This video, I'm basically just gonna edge up to the end of Karg Island on attacking, mainly just using the tank as transport, and walking around with the 74M and laying fools out with this pinpoint accuracy that this gun has with the reflex. I mean, I use a lot of the other sights, like the holographics, and a lot of the other sights, but the reflex was basically the best one in my opinion, especially in my hands, because I like using guns. I'd rather have accuracy over damage and fire rate, but the AK74M does have a lot of damage itself, but I'd rather have accuracy over fire rate at any time. Ask anybody you know, and I'll always make that a standpoint in any FPS game. But and using the reflex on the AK74M is a perfect example of those two traits interfering with each other. Sorry, I'm chewing gum. Let me spit that out. But yeah, so right here it's pretty boring because I forgot to, I didn't realize there was a random in this tank, and he was basically holding me up and basically stalling the entire time. But my boy Shade is laying some suppressor fire on a couple guys that are up to no good, making trouble in the neighborhood. I got in one little fight the moment they got scared, but they basically start shooting this random, I don't know who he is, basically start shooting his main gun at the jet once I started shooting my turn at it, and I was just like, are you serious, kid? And then I jumped out, and I proceeded with taking the base. So it's it's a good thing to use transport and rush, even if you're not getting bonus kills every 5 seconds, lane fools out, getting quads and stuff like that. Sometimes you just want to hop in the third seat. Like I said before in my last video, when you're in the third seat or in the turret, sometimes you don't really always want to use it just to get kills. Sometimes you want to use it to use a 360 swivel to protect your tank, the MPT gun itself, because that's more important than the turret in my opinion, to shell down objectives. Use that 360 swivel to look for C4 guys or people laying mines, or just spot people in general. Or for the third seat, just use for simple transportation if there's not any aircraft around. It's a really good tactic to use as I pick this guy, really sneaky mode. It's a really good tactic to use just for transportation. You don't always have to use it for a lethal matter. when you're segueing to the objective, when you're capping, when you're planning A and B on this side, you want to work your way up to B first, and then hit A. I think that's the best way because you get an elevated position on B when you're on top of it. When you plant it, you go up, and then from that position you can aim down on A where your teammates plant it, and it's a very effective way to play rush on this map at the very end. And you know, there'll be your occasional tank runners on this map at the end, but once you get up in this area, you can basically pick them down with your AK or whatever you're using. That's basically the gameplay, guys. As always, peace!